Yeah, for me, it's high time Nigerian governors emulate what the governors in the eastern Nigerians are doing. Innocent is a Nigerian born, bred, buttered. If you have tried, I've been to the factory in Inewi, like I told you before. I have seen how he does his thing. Do you understand? And all of this, when I set my eyes on all this, I understand that we need to support our own. And the minute we refuse to support our own, we are killing our business ourselves. And we need to face it when we are meant to face it. Innocent is doing excellently well. There's always room for improvement. For me, I'll say it with no apologies. The vehicle was being assembled here in Nigeria. It wasn't built. Innocent built from zero, from scratch to finish. But they brought all this is what they call them. They call them carcass. When they bring them from US, do you get my point? They bring them down to Nigeria. Then we assemble them. It's people like us that have assembled them. I've worked for an assembling plant here in Nigeria where they'll bring in tractors, the green tractors. I was their manager for over 4 years, 8 months. They'll bring the carcass, we bring them, we assemble them, we arrange them. There are some they call semi-carcass. Those semi-carcass, some parts are not there. So when we bring them here, we start assembling them. So if they tell us they assembled here in Nigeria, I understand. But if they say they manufacture from zero to finish, let them take us to their manufacturing plant. Let's ask the right questions. It's not presenting vehicle to all these directors or the DGs. Let's ask the right question. Take me to your plant. Let me see your robotic machine. We have seen this robotic machine. We see how they work. We know how many fingers are there. We know how many things are there. Come on board. Show me. This is the one that's assembled this. This is what we use in molding this. This is what we need to fabricating this. And we did all of this in Nigeria. So tell me you assembled in Nigeria and you present it to the DG in Nigeria. Because the DG is limited version of the car. He only knows how to drive, but he doesn't know what it entails. Mm-hmm. A K leg. He has a K leg. You see the Honda CRV 2001. The manufacturers will never build such cars anymore. The weight and pound of those vehicles are heavier than the recent model that has been built. From the 2001, the first generation was 1998 to 2001. The cost of manufacturing then is the cost of manufacturing of 3 vehicles now. Do you understand? The acceleration, the performance, excellently well. But this is where we have the problem, sir. The Nigerian system does not pay attention to how those kind of cars function. That car now, if you look at it, how old? They say they are selling for 3 million naira. I won't blame the person that's selling for 3 million naira. It's because if you buy the car for $3,000 or $5,000, okay, let's say you buy the car for $1,000. In America, you use about $1,000 or $800 to ship it down to Nigeria. If you look at that amount, let's say $2,000. So what you're clearing in Apapa is almost 1.2 million naira. So let's do the analysis. So this is where you have the problem. Cars are expensive, yes, very expensive. And do you know why the cars are much expensive now? Because custom duties is killing. That is where we have the problem. It's not that the car itself has a problem. The engine is very, very durable. At any time, the engine is very, very durable, and the parts are available. Yeah. Okay. You see, before I could tell you this is the path that you have a challenge, you need to make it very easy for yourself. Tell your technician to check the whole engine circuit inside that vehicle, starting from the O-ring on top of the top cylinder. If the O-ring is not leaking, tell him to look at the crankshaft seal. If the crankshaft seal is not leaking, he should look at every form of leakage of oil on that car. So if you check all the leakages and they are not there, and you tell me the kind of oil used in servicing that vehicle, I can advise you professionally to tell you, okay, if the car is 5W20, I'm advise you to tell you, not because your car is covered 200 something thousand, that your engine is not good. No, your oil rings are expanding gradually. So what you now do, you have to fall back to semi-synthetic oil. Do you get my point? You need to fall back to semi-synthetic oil. Your oil ring is expanded, is consuming excessive oil. That's where you have the challenge. Yes, he has to fall back to semi-synthetic oil. Yes. Okay, the first code, right? The P0175. 3105. P1075. Okay, this one is a common code in Honda. It's a very, very common code in Honda. There's something they call, oh, Holy Spirit help me this evening. Okay, they call it transmission range switch. Transmission range switch is not inside the gearbox, it's by this gearbox, by the driver's side. If that range switch is not getting enough signal from the ECU, that tells you that range switch is faulty. That range switch has about 4 to 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 millimeter bolt or 10 millimeter bolt. That is what gives a sign to the gear outside electronically on the gearbox. When you engage it, if the sensor, the sensor did not get the current that is meant to get from the ECU, if you put your car on drive, the car won't answer you until when you put it back on the low gear and return it back before the car will now start moving. So after the diagnosing on the car, they should do what's it called, calibration for the vehicle. If they do the calibration for the vehicle, fine. If it persists, they should go and get that sensor and replace it. It's transmission range switch sensor. It's common with the Honda. You said that one is P0 what? Oh, P0505. I know that is common with what's it called? Honda Civic. That one is common with Honda Civic. This one is a sensor that is beside the acceleration pedal, outside. That thing they call injector mount, right? There is a sensor on the body. It has it has two wires. They are always yellow and green, or yellow and brown. So that particular sensor is on the injector mount. That is the P050. That one is common with Honda. So by the time they disengage it, they can easily remove it. Get carburetor cleaner to clean it. It has two holes that it will come out from the injector mount. They'll carry carburetor cleaner, they will clean it and return it back. So if it persists, I would rather advise them to get complete injector mount for the vehicle and replace, so that they can just have their peace. Because buying that sensor and buying complete injector mount is almost the same price. Yes, that is common. It's common with Honda Civic. Acura 2003 has 3.5 liter engine. Yes.
because of the event that happened. But if you're coming to the military workshop, you could a number.
A regular car service checks the condition of your vehicle. It is the access for a generation to reduce tear and wear in your automobile, starting from your fluid, your lubricant, your coolant, and so on and so forth. A comprehensive service for vehicle owner in my checklist, what I do to my own car. So if every Nigerian can do the same thing, they will drive their car for 30 years without no issues. Number one, you must follow the manufacturer's specification. The manufacturer's specification starts from the kind of lubricant you use to service your car. If the manufacturer has given an instruction that you should do OW20 oil, go straight to do OW20 oil. If the manufacturer tells you, okay, let's do, what's it called? 5W30 oil. Let's go to 5W20. If they say 5W30, let's go to 5W30. Don't think you're smart or you're too wise than what the manufacturer says you should use. And the problem emerged from where we start to use the kind of oil we want to use. Do you understand? You know, people believe if I buy synthetic oil for 30,000 for my car, right? I'm wasting money. Let me go and buy mineral oil. And if you go to buy the mineral oil, you have reduced from the very first time you use mineral oil, which is 20W50 for your automobile. If that car has 30 years life span of an engine, you have reduced it to 9 years. And I'm going to break that 9 years down for you this evening. You see, the travel speed of mineral oil is not as the same as synthetic oil. Lubricant cost or an improper additive oil in a car performance is just like a clotted blood in the life of a man. Because the more you use mineral oil, the more the tear and wear in that car increases. The more you use that, the more it increases. Of course, and I will tell you in person categorically that in the Western world, before you see them use mineral oil, it will go a long way. That car might have covered over 350,000 kilometers. And let me shock you. Let me shock you something in Nigeria today. I'm not saying all the dealers. You get my point? But I can hit my chest to tell you 89.9 dealers in Nigeria reduce the speedometer of the cars that they bring to Nigeria. And once you reduce the kilometer that the car has covered from America, from Europe, from Asia down to Nigeria, you have added more trouble to the person that is buying. Do you understand? You've added more trouble to the people that are buying. So you need to be truthful enough to tell them this is what it has covered. A viscosity liquid delivered from petrochemical for a performance engine of a car comes with different components inside that oil. If you look at the synthetic oil with the mineral oil, you discover there are two different kinds of oils. People will tell you, the synthetic oil is too thin. When I use synthetic oil in my car, it reduces. I tell them it does not reduce. You need to look at if there's a leakage on your car. Synthetic oil does not reduce. Synthetic oil gives you beautiful 5 things in your car. You increase the performance, you reduce the tear and wear, you reduce the fuel consumption, and you give your car a good acceleration speed in your car. So you need to understand that. See, SHP 1000 is a mineral oil. There's no two ways about it. I have dragged this with Mobil sometimes back. I met them in a car show outside Nigeria, I met them in a car show here in Lagos, and I made them understand that our advice just suggests, you get my point, to them that I educate people that, you see, this my oil is direct from crude oil, refined and put inside gallon and sealed. Do you get my point? Then you tell them this your 2000 is a semi-synthetic oil, not a synthetic, is a semi-synthetic oil with little additive and detergent inside. You know the problem we have, people selling these things to us, the question is, do they know? They don't. All they want to do is they want to make money. And this is the major problem we have. If you stay in the Western world to see what people are doing, if you go to service your vehicle, they will tell you this oil is this one is this, and this one is this, but this is the price of this oil. But here in Africa, we believe we can cut corners. We have different categories of oil. Different categories. We have a light, vibrant oil. These oils are 1. B non-sticky oil. Number 2, the oil have a wax, oil protection, and reduced tear and wear. C class is for heavy stock oil. Class C oil are characteristics into diesel driving vehicle that can enhance the performance of their car. Then the 4th class is class D, non-liquid oil detergents. These are the oils that we have in the world. We have them in the USA, we have them in Asia, we have them in Europe, but majority of Nigerians, do they know? That's the question. If you're okay. Okay, what year? Okay. Okay, for Highlander 2006. And has the car been diagnosed? Okay, let me tell you something. The era of technicians today, there's a say I say, my job is not for dirty people, it's for intelligent people. The vehicle that they are building these days are easily maintained. You'll get to the workshop on Saturday, let them diagnose the car for you. When they diagnose the car, I'm not going to work offhand. So many things can cause this problem. Do you understand? But if the car is being diagnosed for you, I can now advise you properly on how to go. That's why I said book an appointment with them. Yes, sir. Go to Mick shop. Yes, Saturday. Okay, if you've been using mineral oil and you want to change to synthetic oil, if I get it right, I think that's a question, right? Okay. If okay. Yes. Okay. Like I said in the beginning of the program, if you discover that your oil is shorting, try check. See, so many people do not know that their car is leaking oil. And do you know why? We have some protector. So many do not know their car is leaking oil. You see, you will understand that your car is leaking oil from your valve cover. If your valve cover is always littered with engine oil, or your crankshaft seal is littered with engine oil, automatically you know your car is leaking oil from somewhere. Do you understand? Using mineral oil and going back, or using synthetic oil and going back to mineral oil, the advice is this: at the time you're using the mineral oil, do you look at the performance of the car? And the time you start using synthetic mineral oil, did you check the difference between the synthetic and the mineral oil? There are two different ways. When you are using synthetic oil, you don't need to steam the car. When you start the car, you can move on. But the minute you start using synthetic oil, they start advising you that you must run the engine first. Do you understand? The best you could do, I would advise you on this: if you're using mineral oil, get an engine flush, right? In your next service, get an engine flush. Yes, get an engine flush, right? Turn it inside the engine, let them start the car for 60 seconds. That's 1 minute, right? After doing that, let them drain it. So our advice: what kilometer has your car covered? Okay, if you did not remember what it has covered, one what? Let, let me tell you the truth. That car has covered beyond 16570. If you get that car direct to Kumbo, they have doctored the odometer. So what you are seeing now is what you are doing, what is what you're knowing. But I can prove something to you tonight. If you can forward the chassis number of that car to me now, I'll sit right on my system. I'll log on to Toyota America, and I'll get the history of that car and tell you how many kilometers that car has covered. Do you understand? Flush the engine for your next service and get semi-synthetic oil. Ask a question. Semi-synthetic oil is written, semi is written boldly there. Okay, let me do it this way, right? You can, if you want to service a car, see, Mercedes-Benz have a synergy with Mobil 1. Can you hear me, sir? Oh, it's a Lexus. Oh, it's a car, ES350. I would advise, okay, you can use 5W30. If you check the oil cover, you have two types. It's either 5W20 or 5W30. But it won't be a bad thing to come to the workshop on Saturday. Just send a message to the number. You're coming there. I'll be there from 10 to 12 on Saturday myself, in person. Yes. So we could look into this and see what we can help you do again. Yes, sir. Okay. Hello, sir. Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you now. No, 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 I did not. I understand what he's trying to say. If your car is transmitting from gear 1 to gear 2, there's a shift, a surge that you hear. Am I right? Okay, you see the surge that you hear comes with a stock of particles. What kind of car do you drive, sir? 2.4, that's Toyota Camry. Yes, 2.4 Toyota Camry. If you're experiencing a surge in that vehicle, don't change anything yet. Do you understand? Have you changed the transmission oil recently? Did they change the transmission filter inside the car? Ah, okay. There's a transmission filter inside that gearbox that is stuck, and the magnetic items inside there, if they reopen the sump for you, when they pull it out, you see so many particles right inside that gearbox. So there's a magnetic items inside the plates. They'll get a clean cloth to clean them, or even if you use fuel to wash it, it won't clean because it's a magnet. That particle gets stuck to you, get a tissue, they get it clean, and they'll remove the transmission filter and do what? Change the transmission filter. Then the sensors, the physical sensors, they will remove them, carry injector cleaner, and clean them and return them back. But get a good technician to diagnose the car for you, and let's see the error you're going to get from the gearbox. If we see the error before they change that, then I can now tell you this is how we go about it. It's a 13-pin gear, yes. A 13-pin. Yes, 13-pin gear is 13-pin, 22-pin. You see those gears, you have to be very, very careful once you come to working on them. So let them get there. Don't disturb yourself now. The thermostat in the car is working accurately. Don't they tell you the car have? Don't they tell you that the car have thermostat? Yes. Femi, can you hear me? Yes. The car has a thermostat that comes with it from the factory. Do you understand? The thermostat is the regulating system of the water that comes in from the radiator to the engine. So automatically, if the thermostat opens, there will be free flow of water from the radiator to the engine compartment. Not because there's no water in the engine compartment. There's a water in the engine compartment, but the engine needed more water than the spring sanction that is inside the, what's it called, the thermostat will open. Inflow of water will come into the engine system, and once it's done, it will shut down. So if you, in the morning, if you start that car, the two fans won't come on at all. Do you understand? And once you get to a certain temperature, the fans will come on. So if you want those fans to come on automatically, if you on the car in the morning, turn on the AC, the two fans will come on automatically because you have loaded the load to the engine. So the thermostat will respond automatically. So if the fan now stops regulating continuously, simple English now says the thermostat needs to be replaced. Some mechanics tell you let's permanent it. You ask them why. The manufacturer that manufactured the car, don't they have sense before they say you should permanent it? Do you understand? So that. Yes, the thermostat is not faulty. It's working the way it should work. Oh, okay. If the car has done overheating, right, that means your thermostat is not working the way it should work, or the relay of that fan is not working the way it should work. So we need to look out for two things. We have to look out for the thermostat, and this is how you will know. There's something they call cold start sensor. That cold start sensor is on the what's it called? The water regulating channel. If they disengage the cold start sensor, right? If the two fan comes on, you will know that yes, your thermostat is not working. But if it did not come on, they will now trace the electrical part. They look at the relay, they look at the fuse. If the relay is good and the fuse is good, they will now look at the fan clutch itself, because there are two fans, the big one and the small one. The big one is the engine fan. They need to check the thermostat 1, check the relay 2, and check the fans. What was his question, please? Hello, can you hear me, sir? No, I did not. Which of the cars? C300, Mercedes-Benz C300. Hello? Mercedes-Benz C300, am I right? Your car have what they call auxiliary battery. It's not everybody that drive Mercedes-Benz that know Mercedes-Benz have auxiliary battery. Auxiliary battery is a very small battery. You've changed it severally, and it's still doing the same thing, right? The error pops up simultaneously or once in a while. Okay, this is what you do for me, right? In the morning tomorrow or this night, once you are done with all your movement, right? Terminate your positive battery till morning. Yes, at times, Mercedes-Benz can bring different errors at different times. They might have worked on something before on the car, and after they finish working that, then another error will now pop up. The ECU will be telling you, okay, there's an error coming up, and whereas there's no error anywhere. So what you do for me, when you get to the house tonight, you park the car, you know you are not going out again. take off the key inside, right? Don't disengage the battery when the key is around the car. Take the key, that sensor that you slot in, or is a thermostat, take it inside, then come and disengage the positive battery head and leave it till morning. So when you're going out tomorrow morning, fix it back and now run the car and get back to Mr. Adisa before the close of day. Let's see what comes out of it. What kind of car are we talking about, sir? Corolla. Oh, 06. Don't change your fuel pump. Tell them to remove, what's it called? Tell them to remove your fuel filter. They should remove the complete fuel pump. Wash your fuel filter. Remove your air filter inside the car. Replace it. And see, let's see what the performance will look like. Yes. Those are what you will look out for, sir. Oil comes in different categories. They have grades. Oil have different grades. Quad 5000. Quad 5000, let me tell you something, sir. Quad 5000 is not synthetic oil. Quad 5000 is semi-synthetic oil. If Total say no, they should challenge me. I'll come with my oil testing machine. We'll test it. Yes, that's synthetic oil. That is, no, they are not the same thing. 5W30 is a full synthetic oil. So 20W50 is a mineral oil. Yes. Okay. 20W50 is a mineral oil. Yes. There are different oils. 5W30 is the most common, available, and most expensive used oil in the land. Do you get my point? It's a full mineral oil. You can't compare mineral oil with synthetic oil. They are two different oils. So you can't compare them together. I don't understand the question, please. Can you rephrase the question, please? knocking, the car is carbotic now. The engine is full of carbon. That's why the carbons are coming back to the plug, because the plug does not have, the oil is not burning. That is where you suffer for incomplete combustion. Do you understand? Good. When the oil that comes in to lubricate the engine is not burning fuel, then you will suffer for so many carbon. Fuel comes in from nozzle. 1,000 RPM is meant to dry off the oil, the fuel that is coming onto the carbon, onto the piston. Do you understand? But they are not burning. So he's suffering from incomplete combustion. The first thing to do is to look out, to remove the nozzle, what's it called? The nozzle. If there's excessive fuel from any of the nozzle, if one or two of the nozzle is bad, there will be excessive fuel going into the piston chamber. So you will suffer for incomplete combustion. So you should look at, they should test those nozzles one after the other. If all of them are accurate, then you should look at the kind of plug you are buying for him in that car. My words are very simple. If you go to gas station, everybody wants to sell what they sell in the market. But I can give you the truth. If someone can tell me 55% of the truth, I give my life to the person without thinking twice. If you ask questions from the people selling this injector cleaner, can they define what they are selling? The longer it stays, the more damage it do, the more damage, the more damage you have on your fuel pump. Because the more you have in your engine, the more it becomes magnets. So it gets stuck to your oil filter, and the minute it gets stuck to your oil to your fuel filter, or what's it called, your oil pump, your fuel pump, right? You will suffer for some magnetic problem from your tank, and you will know that's where the problem is coming from. But if you have a good relationship with the mechanic, you can able to remove the fuel filter, wash the filter with injector cleaner, and return it back so that you can have accurate pressure from your fuel pump. Check engine light comes with an error from either your oxygen sensor or your less catalyst converter, or you're not getting adequate performance from the engine. They should diagnose. It's going to complain oxygen sensor bank 1, bank 2, or bank 3, or bank 4. Then if they do calibration for it, you drive it again, it returns. It tells you that you should go and check the catalyst system of that car. It has reduced. That's what I have for you tonight.